Hello folks, so this video I'm doing a unboxing and maybe the installation and configuration of the Nest outdoor camera. I think it's called Nest Cam Outdoor, and the reason I got this camera is because in front of our yard there were people illegally dumping stuff, and to a point that it's really annoying, and I want to have a security camera set up so it's pointing to the front yard, and so we can see who exactly is doing the illegal dumping and stuff. Also, just as a general security camera for our outdoor the front yard, so we know if something happens. And this camera right now costs about $169 on Amazon. I'll post a link below if you guys are interested. And let's open the package up. And this one is made specifically for outdoor use. So later on I'll be mounting the camera outside. But I think I'm gonna do a in-home setup first to at least have the camera set up and ready to go. So this is what the box looks like. You slide it out of the exterior packaging. And the reason I got this one is because it was highly reviewed by a lot of users, and I was deciding between this one and the I think Netgear Arlo. That one is battery powered, and it doesn't require any exterior battery power source. So, but with that Arlo, the resolution is only 720p, and this one, the Nest Outdoor Cam, is 1080p at 30 frames per second. Just trying to open the box. It's pretty tight. Okay. It's Apple-like packaging. So here's a camera. Sure if you guys can see a close-up view. Looks like that. Actually, it looks like a Nest thermostat. Even though I didn't own one, I know what they looks like. So open up. The top layer is the camera, and looks like part of the USB wiring. So like that. And I guess this one is not removable, so they made it waterproof, hopefully. And on this end is a USB cord. Besides that, let's open it up. Looks like there are user manuals inside. Let's just camera angle just a little bit. Okay. So user manuals here. Some basic informations. It's also got a night view with a infrared LEDs. It's got two-way audio, I think. Yes, it does. And it's waterproof. So they also give you a free trial of Nest Aware, which is their subscription service. So you can have your video streams uploaded to their cloud server for 24/7 monitoring. And I think that service costs about $100 a year for one camera, and $150 a year for two cameras, and $5 more per month for each additional cameras. Let's see. So the basic setup information, I think it's right over here. Choose a good spot, mount the camera. It looks pretty straightforward, so see what more is in the box. Looks like the power, maybe the hardware's, yeah. Looks like a magnetic connector. One side is to mount to your, I guess, bracket, and one side is for your camera, I believe. Let's see. Yep, works pretty good. And of course, the rest of the hardware I think is all here. So there are some anchoring bits, and I might drill through our concrete wall, might not, depending on which exact location I want to put it in. But all the screws and the cable ties and everything is in this little box. It looks like this is the remaining of the power connector. So it looks like an adapter, kind of like a what you have on the phone, except it's much larger, with a cord to plug into either your outdoor power outlet, or if you want to drill a hole and connect the Nest indoors, I think you can do that as well. So I'm just gonna plug it in and set it up first through the user app. Wall plug right next to the table. So power adapter is connected, and let me try to connect the camera. The USB cable, it's kind of a flat type. I guess it's easier to mount onto the wall. It's not a round type, just so you know. See. So basically, let me unwind the cables. I believe the total length is 15 foot or 25 foot. I have to double check later on, but it's pretty long wires. And for my application outdoors, I'm just going to be plug it into my exterior wall, the power outlet, and which is pretty close by. So let's see, try to connect it. It looks like it have a security locking type of thing, so I believe if I plug it in, let's see. Not sure what this is for, but it doesn't look like it actually locks. Oh yeah, oh it's twisting. So I push it in, and I think I gotta twist like that to twist it clockwise to lock it. So now it's at a locked position, so it's not able to be unplugged. And so the camera should be connected because the light is actually flashing blue. So took those off, and let's see if it needs any other setup. And I'm gonna open up my phone and check out the app. So okay, I already have the Nest app installed from the App Store. I have an iPhone, so if you have Android, you probably have a similar app as well. Basically, I entered all my information, I signed up for an account, and it brings me to this page. It's Nest's general app, so if you have other devices, you also add all those other devices through this app as well. But for me, I only have the security camera, so I'm gonna just add a security camera. This step, it actually asked me to scan the barcode. I think the barcode is somewhere on the back of the camera, yes. This setup is actually similar to the Xiaomi home security camera that I've reviewed a few months back, except that one generates barcode through I guess that one generates the barcode through their app, but this one actually have the barcode printed directly on back of the camera. Let's see. Okay, so next step, I'm gonna be entering my Wi-Fi password and follow the directions. Let's see. Next. So it asked me where I'm gonna put it. So I'm gonna put it in my front yard. And it says it's for outdoor use between -4 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I live in Florida, and hopefully the area I'm going to use is without direct sunlight, so it should be safe because our temperature rarely rises above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. But the humidity is pretty high, so also take that into consideration. It just says make sure you're abiding to the laws and not doing anything crazy. So plug your camera in inside the house. Yes, I already did that. That's good. And now actually, if you look, the light might change when it's finished connecting. Then I may not have set up the Wi-Fi properly. Oh yeah, okay. It's asked me to enter in the Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna enter my Wi-Fi information. Okay, so actually I just finished, it looks like I remember the password wrong, so just finished setting up the camera and pairing it. And once it was paired, it beeped once. So it says the camera is restarting. Gonna hit next. Bring your camera outside and plug it in. So I think the next step will be installing it outside, or actually find a good spot to install it outside. Let's see. And the light is actually changing color, so it looks like, yeah, it's set up. That's pretty good. It's also got a, I think, two-way video. Yeah, because I can hear myself talking actually on my phone, so that's pretty cool. And the image quality, and there's a little bit of the delay. I don't know if it's because this is just a general setup, or will the recording be this much delayed. It's actually like, let you guys see, it's actually losing a lot of frame rates. It's not smooth, so we'll test it out outside and see how it goes. Alright, so basically the camera is set up and paired to your phone. And I think next step, I need to sign up for the Nest Aware, so I can test it out for 30 days before I pay for the service and see if it actually records anything useful. Alright, so next section will be, okay, still losing frames. Yeah, next step, I'm going to be testing it outside. Okay, so here I just want to quickly go over the Nest app in your smartphone. Basically, this is your bread and butter once the Wi-Fi camera, the outdoor camera, is connected. You can see all your cameras in this page, which is the Nest app homepage. And right now I only have one camera set up, so it's only displaying one camera. Basically, by clicking here, it brings me to this recording page. And as you can see, it's also recording the audio. So, because the camera is set up inside the house, I haven't mounted it yet. And I'm just doing some testing and see how the Nest Aware cloud storage works. And I'm actually extremely happy because this Nest Aware works fantastically. A few months ago I did a Xiaomi indoor security camera review, and that thing also comes with a cloud storage, but the implementation on Xiaomi is actually not even close to implementation of the Nest cloud storage. And it's actually super smart. So in this page, you can see your front camera, live view. And if I tilt it, of course, you can see the full view of the outdoor. And keep in mind, this is the camera inside the house with a glass in between. So if I actually put it outdoor, the image quality is going to be even much better. Okay, so that is the general view of your live camera view, and over here down below is whatever is stored in the cloud storage. Right now I'm using their trial, so it's like a 10-day storage, and this is all the recordings since this morning. And as you can see, it kind of goes like a time lapse, which is super cool. And anytime there's an event, it's gonna put a dot over there. So for example, here looks like an event, and that's actually a car coming. And let's see, here's the event. It's probably another car coming. Yep. So anytime it detects something, it will put a dot over here. So it's really easy and intuitive for you to see what happened. So for example, like in the daytime, you can see a lot of dots because there are a lot of cars going by. And late at night, it's not gonna be much stuff. And I turned the infrared off because through the glasses, it's gonna have a lot of like reflections. So now it's with infrared off, and as you can see, there's still quite a lot of details. And that is the street light further away outside of the front yard. So it's plenty bright, and the image quality is really good for 1080p outdoor camera. And so that's the nighttime. You can see the cloud rolling, and it's not reporting a alarm. And over here, it looks like there's a couple events. Maybe it's a car, so let's check it out. Anytime it detects something moving, it'll put an alarm. So still not there. Maybe here. Just going slowly. Anyway, but yeah, I would totally trust this device in detecting some activities in the yard. So I don't know what happened at night, but I said there's a couple of things that you need to take a look. So I'm taking a look. Looks like there's some slight movement on the tree, which I think it thought was someone. Yep. So yeah, it's a car that it detected. And let's see, rolling back to yesterday, I want to show you guys something. It's actually, the reason I bought this camera was people dumping stuff outside of my yard, like on the other side of the walkway. It's a common area, but I'm still responsible for that area. So flipping back to yesterday, if you take a look, there should be a tree branch appearing fairly soon. Let's see. Did you find the branch? And this time lapse is really cool. So yeah, did you see the difference? The tree branch was gone because I called the city, and the city actually have someone came over and took it away, and it was recorded very nicely on the camera. So let's see. So the city came at about like 3 o'clock-ish. Yep. And it recorded quite a few activities within this time frame. and the pile is right over there in front. So the city truck is gonna come soon. And this is like around 3 o'clock, so the sun was setting and this is facing out west. Because it's in a glass, it's very reflective. So I try my best to avoid glare on the most important area in here. But once I put the camera outdoor and mount it on top of the wall, it should fix this problem. And it shouldn't have much glare, and it should be much more clear. So the truck should be coming anytime. Yep, see the city truck. And I called them, complained, and they said they're gonna send someone over to investigate. And so they did send someone over here. And as you can see, the employee is actually taking those illegally dumped tree branches away. And I'm gonna fast forward, and once he finishes, the branch is gone, and then he drives away. So this camera, it's definitely gonna serve the purpose for monitoring my front yard, and it's gonna be very trustworthy when the camera actually detects something. In comparison to the Xiaomi camera, when it detects something, it's usually like a shadow or like some weird stuff. And this camera is very smart. It also have a cool feature to mark a specific area to monitor, so anything else is not gonna trigger the event. So that way, if you have a driveway, you just mark the driveway, and then for sure you're gonna catch something if there's activities. Okay, so this is the software part, and as you can see, it's very intuitive and super easy to use. Of course, if you need to set up some of the camera settings, you can go over here to the inside of the camera. So of course, the camera on off, you turn the camera on. Microphone right now is on, you can hear the live sound recordings. Home away assist, I turned it off because I don't actually need it, and I don't have any other smart device. So from Nest, and the schedule is to control when to turn the camera on and off. I always leave it on. Notifications is when it sends a notification when it detects people, motion, or it detects some weird sound. I turn the sound off because right now the camera is inside. And Nest Aware is, of course, I have the free trial, and you can customize some of the settings here. So activity zone is the thing I talked about. You can customize a specific area. So definitely I'm gonna sign it up when the trial expires, because I think it's a really useful feature. It's a must-have feature. Quality and bandwidth, I set it at high because we have really fast internet, like 250 meg and down, and 20 meg up. So it's definitely enough to leave it on high. So night vision, I turn it off because it's through the glasses, so it's gonna have reflection if I turn it on. But eventually when I mount the camera onto the thing, I'm gonna turn it on. Rotate images, if your image is upside down, like if you mounted your camera a reverse direction, you can turn it on so the image is not upside down anymore when you view it in your app. And of course there's talk and listen. That's something like two-way audio. When you are ready to talk, you can press, I think, some button to talk with people on the other end, if you actually mount it like next to a door or something like that. Status light, I turned off because I don't want people to notice it. Microphone sensitivity, right now it's at 75%. I can probably turn it down a little bit. Okay, so as I'm about to get ready to install the Nest Cam Outdoor onto my exterior wall, I'm just preparing all the materials that will be needed for the installation. And this is all the accessories, the mounting hardware that came with the Nest Cam Outdoor. And this one is for the AC adapter. It needs one screw. And you can see I'm using an anchor. That's because my exterior wall is actually concrete. So I need to drill through the concrete to install the anchor first. and then screw those screws into the wall, into the anchor. And this is actually the camera mounting bracket. It's a piece of just metal, and that's what sticks to the backside of the Nest outdoor cam. And it needs 2 screws, and all those are actually cable ties for the USB cable and the power cables. I'm not sure if this is enough of the ties, but if it's not, I have some extra cable ties available. And if you're mounting it onto your exterior wall, your wall is not wood, it's concrete, you need a proper drill. Over here I have my Bosch rotary hammer drill ready. This drill, I bought it specifically to drill walls, to carve walls into to carve holes on my wall. And my wall is, again, I mentioned it's made of concrete, so I used this drill with the chisel function to carve out the wall. But this also works fantastic for drilling holes into the concrete wall. And over here I have a specific size of the drill that Nest have asked. I think it's let's see, I think it's 7/32 of an inch size. So I'll try to rotate it. 7/32 inch, and so that's the size that's needed for this concrete anchor. And if I compare it, you can see it just tad bit smaller than the anchor. So that's the correct size you need if you need to drill the wall for the Nest Cam. And of course, after you finish drilling the wall, you'll be mounting the screws into the anchor. You can use just a standard screwdriver, and if you have a power drill, that also works fantastic. If you don't have a hammer drill, try to find a carbide tipped drill for your regular drill, and that should also be able to drill some holes onto the concrete. It's not going to be as fast or as efficient, but it should do the job. So keep that in mind. And I'm actually going to go outside and install the camera. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to record the video, but if not, I'll show you guys what the finished installation looks like. Alright, it's kind of cloudy outside, but what I'm going to do now is actually try to look through the camera with my phone so I can find a best angle outside on the wall. And then I'm going to climb up the ladder and try to drill the hole to mount the camera onto the wall. And of course the next step is put all the wire brackets on and try to make the wiring looks nice and tidy. And so that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I think I've found a decent spot to mount the camera, and let's see, show you on the phone really quick. And this entire time it's recording. So as I'm taking the previews. It's working beautifully. Alright, so I found my good spot, and I already marked the area. Next step, I'm just gonna start drilling. Okay, as you can see, the installation is super easy, at least for the camera part. I drilled 2 holes and I mount the bracket, and the camera just sticks onto the magnetic bracket automatically. Now I just need to take a look. Now I just need to adjust the angle to get it perfect. And see, I got an email says the camera just saw someone, which is myself. I just need to get my angles adjusted and install the remaining wire mounting brackets, and have the wiring go out nicely. And that should sum up the installation process. Alright, I didn't realize that the battery died during my installation. So over here is the finished product. As you can see, it's mounted nicely onto the wall, concrete wall. And the wire goes all the way inside to my exterior power connector, which is right over here. I didn't use too much brackets here. Depending on whether it needs it, I'll probably add more brackets later, but that's how it looks like in terms of like mounting the camera onto the wall and plug it into your exterior wall outlets. And there you have it. Unplug my drill, and that's what it looks like. I might use some silicone seal to actually waterproof the area, so it's good for probably for the long run. Otherwise, this concludes the installation process of the Nest Cam Outdoor. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section, and I'll try my best to help you guys. Thanks.